Hello everyone, welcome. It's the end of Tuesday, middle of the week, and I'm just giving you an update of what we are doing right now and a couple of interesting trades we are taking on right now. We're accumulating positions in some of the currencies to reflect our potential rate increase trade and trying to offset it with being long of crypto, which is very unusual but interesting at the same time. Look at this. What this is all based on. So I want to point out the Bitcoin chart overlaid with gold and overlaid with, where is it? 2-year yield. This is the 2-year yield. Yeah, right here. What do we have? I could have demonstrated this through the correlation table, but no point in showing you the raw numbers when we can go and look at the lines. It's much easier for people to grasp the lines. The idea being here that essentially gold 2-year yield is the same trade because they have almost 90% anti-correlation to each other, and Bitcoin in broad terms is the same trade as gold right now. So look at this. Here we have Bitcoin price. Orange line is the gold price. Look at the essential impulses. First impulse is perfectly coincides with the Bitcoin impulse. The retracement coincides with the repricing of rates higher, repricing of gold lower, repricing of Bitcoin lower, consolidation, then another move higher in gold price, another move higher, vigorous move higher in gold and Bitcoin, and major repricing of rates lower because of the SVB failure. And since then, we've been in consolidation on gold, and we've been in consolidation on Bitcoin as well. At the same time, we've been in consolidation on 2-year yield, meaning the market expectation of the rates, and we've been actually going higher on the 2-year yield. So we've been repricing short-term rates higher, and across the curve, we've been repricing things higher. How are we playing this? Now, this is the idea. We still think that we're going to see them raise by another 25 basis points. And if they do that, we're going to see continuation of this move higher. We've already captured all of this. Now we've been calling for consolidation, and this is just the matter of will they do it or will they not do it. You can flip a coin, it doesn't matter. This is the broad implication of the market. Everything is implying the potential creation of a high low on a daily and continuation of this move higher, and implying another repricing of rates higher. As of this moment, this might change on any given day, but nothing has changed yet. So we are still going long the dollar with the expectation that we are creating this higher low and moving, giving another impulse leg higher. The dollar is the epitome of all of it. So I can show you the USD JPY, I can show you the USD CNH, I can show you the 2-year yield. It's all the same thing. It's all represented in the dollar at this point, which means another move in gold lower, which means another move in XLU lower, credit weakness, and all of that credit rates related stuff. The 2-year yield is still pointing to the upside. Perfectly bullish trend, bullish trade, possible creation of a high low. We've been expecting this, we've been calling for this, and another if. So essentially everything this week is going to be very sanguine. We're going to stay in consolidation probably. We don't have no economic news, and we're just preparing and laying the groundwork for the doing the shaping operations for the upcoming week, because we have the CPI on Tuesday, that decision on Wednesday. These are going to be a major catalysts that will decide this movement out of this consolidation, and whether we are going higher into the 5 or we're going lower. And this is the idea. How are we setting up for this? Instead of going long rates or instead of going long dollar, we've found that the most weak thing and the best thing that you can express, the best instrument that you can express long short-term rates in the US is going long JPY. Essentially, look at once again the correlation to the short end is spot on. They move in lockstep essentially, and if we are going to see now repricing higher, we are going to see now USD JPY reaching 142, at least 142. So what we are doing, we are accumulating JPY in this region. We do not expect JPY to go lower than this already printed low, 138. I didn't see it. If this, it might retest it. But we don't see JPY breaking this area at all. So we have our position. We've already accumulated our max position in JPY, and we're just expecting it to hold this area. And if they do increase the rate by 25, and if CPI comes in, we might see a very big volatility on CPI print, and we might see a run on this low, but everything will be decided on Wednesday. And if they do raise, we're going to see this move higher, and well, we can profit on that. Same thing, what we did, we went long CNH. We've been calling for long CNH long for a long time, but right now we've went long CNH, and essentially our stop, the point of invalidation is below this low, is around 706. We sitting with the full position on JPY with a full position CNH, and this is simply one-sided trade on expectation that they're going to raise 25 basis points one more time. I'm not going to go right now on the fundamentals. Why we think they're going to do that? We think they are going to do this. This is the idea. Essentially, we can stay in this range for a while, and I don't expect to see much volatility this week anyway. On the other hand, there is a other side of this coin. If they're not going to raise by 25, all this premium are going to come out from the short end, and we're going to see a significant dollar weakness. We're going to see, I don't know how it's going to manifest itself, but we're going to see dollar weakness. When we're seeing dollar weakness, what's going to happen? We're going to get storm taken out on these longs, on JPY and CNH longs. We will manage it as they go, but we're going to get taken out most likely. And we are going to see, because of the dollar weakness, we're going to see gold strength and Bitcoin strength. And we do like very much so how Bitcoin is behaving right now, regardless of the things that are going on the fundamental side. We've seen Bitcoin, we've seen the second largest exchange fail, and everything is largely intact in the crypto space. And everything that we've gotten from that point is just this move of, what was it, minus 15%, and that's it. And then consolidation, recovery, and it moves alongside the overall correlations in the macro space. So even this credit event didn't bring the crypto market down, so I don't think a couple of new regulations are not going to ruin the crypto market. So it's not the time to be incredibly bearish on the Bitcoin itself. So Bitcoin is going to stay resilient. And by the looks of it, if we are closing week, you remember in the last week episode update, we've been calling that we are long Bitcoin and we want to accumulate it even lower. And this is essentially a very perfect signal we've just received. If we close this week as we closing right now, and they are not raising by 25 basis points. They are not raising by 25 basis points. We're getting stop losses on JPY and CNH longs, obviously, but this is going to be negative for the dollar, which is positive for the gold, and which is positive for the gold, yes, and positive for the Bitcoin as well. And we are going to see expansion out of this stasis in Bitcoin, and we are going to see 32,000, and we're probably going to see $36,000 on Bitcoin. If that is to be true, we're going to profit very handsomely on this. But how are we going to play this? And how we are playing this, we are very cheeky. And I don't see why we can do that, to be honest, because this guy, MSTR, is essentially MSTR. It's not MSTR. It's not crypto exchange. Essentially, it trades like a Bitcoin, but even with the bigger volatility, which is surprising. It has more pronounced swings to the upside, but lately, it has been incredibly tied to the Bitcoin. It's always been tied to the Bitcoin price, but this is if we're gonna see move in Bitcoin upwards of $36,000, MSTR will go even higher, will give you even more return in percentage terms. So let's look at the MSTR. We've already just received a very good signal on the long side right here, and we are going long MSTR. We are accumulated half of our position at this point, looking to get to the full position. And with the roadmap that I just outlined a couple of minutes ago, if we are there not raising by 25, this thing is going to rip. Bitcoin should theoretically reprice higher, and MSCR of course is going to backtail the Bitcoin and going to reprice higher. And if the targets on Bitcoin is 36,000, then targets on MSTR is obviously 363, the last cyclical high, the tail resistance. And we've been consolidating below the tail resistance. This is the perfect opportunity. This is one of the best setups when you are consolidating below the tail or trend resistance for a long time. You've been accumulating liquidity in a certain region, consolidation, and then you get a catalyst, you get a positive event, and based on that positive event, if you get that positive event and you're preparing for this, you're gonna get a nice move higher. And I'd expect we might even reach 440 on MSTR. The other example that we've gone through is Nvidia. This is a simple consolidation. This is the tail resistance right here, prolonged consolidation, gathering of liquidity, running and sweeping the lows below, and then positive catalyst, an explosive move higher. Especially it's been pronounced in AVGO, the trade that we've absolutely nailed, this tail resistance consolidation. We've taken out the trend support right here, closed higher and exploded. This is the thing that we are looking for on MSTR and Bitcoin as well. This is the general idea. This is the two trades that we are taking on right now, two parallel opposite trades. So the idea being here, even if we are gonna get 25 basis point rise, I think it's just gonna weigh heavily on Bitcoin and weigh heavily on gold, but not to the catastrophic degree. We're not gonna see Bitcoin even probably break the $24,000. We're not gonna see that, but we shall see that in a week. This is the positioning. These are the momentous trades, just preparing for the upcoming week, and that's it. Accumulating these two names and accumulating Bitcoin at the same time. Other things to point out is gold. Yes, gold is the same thing as Bitcoin. Waiting, no clear signal on the part of gold at this point. Bearish trend though, so not the perfect setup. 2-year yield is bullish trend, bullish trade, but the 30-year yield is once again in consolidation. And when the time comes, and if we're gonna get closer and closer to the Wednesday, we're gonna see, and we're gonna expect if anything happens at that point. As to the equity market, as we've been calling since for a couple of months right now, we are bullish trend, bullish trade. We're expecting expansion, and we're expecting move into the tail resistance once again on even on SPX. Let's pull up the SPX better. This is the tail resistance and continuation. We would expect us to reach at least 4,400 on SPX. We are in a period of an expansionary period after this prolonged consolidation. When we've built the trend level, we've swept the trend level, we've built the trade level, we swept the trade level, and we're continuing higher after this consolidation. We are getting into the parabolic state, and volatility just dissipating through the market, and we're going higher. If you have longs, they are working for you. I would not be closing them right now. No, not this week. Definitely, this week is going to close positively. I'm pretty sure of that. So if you have any longs, you should hold them. Pretty good week. Pretty good state of the equity market at this point. Yeah, essentially these are all the things that I wanted to point out. Essentially, these couple of trades along the equity market. However you can. And we're preparing to be for the expansion in crypto market, as well as preparing for potential move in the DXY higher. And just to get into the weeds of it, we have not yet received a negative signal on the DXY, so it's bullish trend, bullish trade, and just continuing. And I wouldn't want to see necessarily a break below this intermediate lower high right here, high low at 103, but we shall give it a little bit more time. So that's it. This is the update.